And now the details. Pope Francis has suffered another medical setback. The Vatican says the 88-year-old suffered 2 episodes of respiratory failure earlier today. He has been battling pneumonia in the hospital for more than 2 weeks now. Action reporter John Paul is live at the Basilica of St. Peter and Paul in Center City with details and reaction. John.
You know, Rick, earlier in the day, the Vatican had reported that the Pope rested well. And then later we got news of this latest setback, which really shows you how fragile the situation is.
Ave Maria, piena di grazia.
The faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square tonight to pray for Pope Francis after news of another setback for the pontiff, who's now been in the hospital for 17 days. The Vatican announced today he suffered 2 episodes of acute respiratory failure.
That essentially means that the patient's body is not responding to the intervention. Their oxygen level isn't getting to that high 95%, 100% that you want it to, despite the aggressive oxygen intervention that you're getting.
ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton says these are critical events and that fluid is filling his lungs. 2 bronchoscopies were performed, and he's on a mechanical ventilator.
Now, in this case, it seems as though he responded, thankfully, but in these cases, we closely monitor patients after these critical events because, as you've learned so far, these stages can change hour by hour, if not minute by minute.
He was hospitalized back on February 14th and later diagnosed with pneumonia in both lungs and has gone from critical to stable condition. Around the world, the faithful have been holding prayer services for Pope Francis, who's led the Catholic Church since 2013. In a prayer published on Sunday, the Pope said he felt all your affection and closeness. Now, the Vatican says that his prognosis remains reserved. They are closely watching him in the hospital as we approach the start of Lent. We're live tonight outside the Basilica of St. Peter's and Paul. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
All right, John, thank you for that report.